You are now live. Welcome everybody. Saturday night this time in the cavern. We're back in the cavern again. Last couple of weeks I've been with my dad, which I've really enjoyed. It's been lovely chatting with dad. Thank you very much everybody for following me. This thing, it's the feedback I've gotten is amazing. So it is. So that's why I'm keeping it going. I mean, there's so many people I want to speak to anyway, and obviously I'm speaking to all my friends and people that I know with, I've trained with, and lifted stones with. So tonight is no different. In fact, I'm really excited about tonight. So I met this guy about 8 years ago. It was at my mate's 50th birthday party, and he walked in and all the lights kind of seemed to go out because he just blocked all the lights out. He was that big. So he was, and we've become really good friends over the last 8 years. And I mean, I kind of first seen him, but I didn't know him on a video which was from about 2009. Pressing the Everstone over his head, which was like, I mean, how does anybody do that? And it wasn't just pressing the Everstone. I mean, it was, I think if he'd have pushed a wee bit harder though, it would have actually come out of his hands over his head. He'd have got air under it because it just flew up. It didn't stop, hit his chest straight up, no messing about. And then Menzies stone, Mingus stone, whatever you want to call it, same thing, flipping heck. So I'm really sort of proud to be his chum, who I am. And I mean, all his stone lifting things, I mean, Andy's very multifaceted in his lifting, who he is. So it's Andy Cairney we're going to be speaking to tonight. I mean, his powerlifting record, I mean, 8 times world champion, 8 times European champion, over three federations, 3 weight classes, 3 different disciplines. Biggest squat ever in Scottish history. That's something, and it's, whether you call it raw, single ply, briefs, all that sort of thing, all the multiply stuff. 2 times Scotland's strongest man, both individually and team. One of the few men to have lifted all 9 Arbler stones. Podium at my first Donald Denny Games, which is a big honour for me, having him on the podium. So without any further ado, I'm going to invite my pal Andy Cairney in and let him tell you all about what he's doing. Andy. Suspense. Yeah, hello. What about you, pal?
Hi Stevie, how you doing? Absolute pleasure to chat to you.
You're looking very chilled there, so you are.
Yeah, I'm on the Missus' chair. This is the Missus' grand chair, so she's away for a bath, so I'm jumping on this. Yeah.
Well, if she comes back, I could get kicked out very handy.
No doubt. Yeah, this is. I think the actual the chair is named her ladyship. So yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I normally get the couch, but yeah, no, I have to be nice and relaxed and comfortable talking to one of my good mates. It's good to speak to you.
It's great to talk to you. I mean, I've really enjoyed these last few weeks, and I mean, everybody that I've talked to has been like a really close friend and really, really good stone lifter. So, I count you amongst that, mate, and I've actually really looking forward to chatting to you. I mean, that's some CV, and now we're only scratching the surface, sir. I'm sure you could add like about 3-4 times that onto your list, and that's not even your stone lifting, Andy.
No. I'm a jack of all trades, master of none. But
I wouldn't say master of none. Now, I mean, 8 times world championship. That's I would say that's a pretty good position to be in.
Yeah, I mean, when I started, my first foray into any kind of lifting was more bodybuilding type training, like I'm sure most guys do. Usually inspired by the big movie stars, the Stallones and Arneys and all these guys, and I wanted big muscles and be tough to compensate my mass insecurity. I just wanted to lift weights and be strong, I suppose. Yeah. So at first I started off in bodybuilding type training, and then I fell in love with strongman. And well, Bill Kazma is watching this. Hi, Bill Kazma.
Yes, you're on next.
Admire, 3 times world's strongest man, and I fell in love with strongman, and I was doing quite well at it. I won the UKSC Scotland's Strongest Man a couple of times. I won Scotland's Strongest Team. I competed at Britain's Strongest Man with legends like Terry Holland, Lon Shalley, Ollie Thompson, and Dan Sadler, and all these incredible guys. And I was absolutely obsessed with my strongman.
I remember seeing you squatting in Belfast, and that was flipping amazing what you did that day on the squat.
Yeah, I've for a guy with zero calves, I somehow managed to squat some huge weights. But yeah, yeah, I've got chicken drumsticks. My legs are massive at the top, and then they go.
Next
But, but not but yeah, I fell in love with strongman, and then unfortunately, when I was competing at the Arnold Classic in Columbus, Ohio, I blew both my knees off. One of probably the worst injuries you can get, and I was in a wheelchair for a year and told I would probably never, I might never walk again. I certainly wouldn't lift again, and then I started doing powerlifting because it was a safer option to do. So I started off a strongman, and then I moved into powerlifting, and I've spoken about this so many times before, but I like to call it the Happy Gilmore effect. The famous movie with Adam Sandler, Happy Gilmore, he wanted to be an ice hockey player, and he wasn't very good at skating, and then he found golf and became an incredible golfer. So with strongman, I don't think I was ever going to make it to the absolute top in the sport. I certainly competed at national and international level, but I was never going to be like top 10 in the world. But then I found before Andrew's
the strongest and sexiest, and that's from a guy.
Regardless of the guy or not, he's very accurate and incredibly observant. But, thank you. DM me and I will send you anything you need.
DM me.
My OnlyFans is on my bio, but no. But jokes aside, so I started doing powerlifting, and I realised that I was a much better powerlifter than I was a strongman. And since then, I know it's from Josh. We love Josh.
Josh.
Yeah, Josh is, you know Josh really well. Josh is probably as good with the Denny Stones as any man has ever walked on the planet.
Absolutely, yeah.
Right, sure. So anyway, so no, so I love you, Josh, but no,
I love you too, Josh.
Yeah. So anyway, so
a lot of love going on here. It's great.
Yeah, I know. So I've been doing powerlifting mostly for the last decade, and I've won 8 world titles, 8 European titles. I think I've won Scottish. I stopped competing in Scotland, so I promote them. I've won I've got 167 British records over 4 federations.
Wow, that's a lot.
Josh, I know how much it takes you to blush. All right, Coach James Corbett. Hello, James is one of the guys I work with in the gym. James is one of my people. He's a great guy, and he's about to become a dad. So congratulations, James. See you in a couple of weeks, buddy, when we reopen. I've missed you, kind of. but no. Charlie Little. Hi, Charlie. Listen, Shanks, I don't know if you know this guy, Charlie Little, strongman, but he's a proper good guy. Sorry, I've been told by the wife I need to focus on the subject matter. Charlie,
listen, you chat away, pal. You chat away.
So anyway, I was doing powerlifting for the safer option after I had to retire for strongman for Riska. Obviously re-injuring again. Yeah. I'm loving my powerlifting. I did it equipped for a few years, and then I did multiply, and then I've now just recently started doing raw for a new challenge. So I love my powerlifting. But the first time I get back into stone lifting was the rather lovely, fabulous gentleman who I'm sure you're aware of, Charlie Blair Oliphant.
Yeah.
Messaged me out of the blue one day, maybe 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Charlie Blair, it was like, "Hello, Andy. Hi, it's Charles here." So that's what it was. And he asked, would I attempt to lift the 9R Bliss stones? As I believe up until that point, no one had achieved the 9. And I said to him quite humbly, I don't think I'll be able to do it. I've not touched a stone in years and years and years and years and years. But I know a man who can, and I brought the absolutely incredible John Pollock with me, JP. And JP, I think on the second attempt, the second year we did it, was the first man, and will always be the first man to lift the 9 stones. And he done it in front of my daughter, who was only a couple of weeks old, and he gets his picture all over the papers, holding my daughter. I was like, it's like, back
but someone can look back at that, you know. There's a gun, that's a hell of a thing.
But yes, and then I think the first time I was successful enough to achieve the 9 stones, Stevie, was a very momentous occasion for both of us, which was the gathering. I think the second one, I think it was this one.
Was that your first time, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh wow! Okay, I didn't realise. Nice.
And the stone run, I got the 9 stones. I was the only man to achieve them that day. and I believe at the last count that stone. Hi Jamie Duncan, how you doing?
Hi, Jamie.
I've not really met Jamie, but I hear good things, buddy. We need to lift stone together. So yeah, I managed to lift the 9 stones, and the video went viral. And I think at the last check, it was at 600 million views, which is now a percentage of the population of the world who saw it. To keep it in perspective, for every one person that watched the Super Bowl, 3 people have saw my video.
Wow, that's cool, man. That's something. No, it is.
Yeah, it was awesome. And the cool thing about it was it wasn't my best run at them. I've done better since and stuff. And I don't I mean, if you look at somebody like Tom Stoltman, God bless the Albatross, is an absolute machine, and we all love him, especially in Scotland. We hope he's going to win in a couple of weeks. But when you watch Tom do it, he bangs them up like, I don't know, 25 seconds or something amazing like that.
22 years ago was crazy time, yeah.
But I think that the cool thing about that stone run with me was the battle I had to get the last one, made it a bit more of an enjoyable narrative.
Well, you had to dig in, I've watched it a few times. You really had to dig in. You know,
so even though it wasn't the fastest run ever, I think it was quite enjoyable for the average person to watch it. And is he going to get it? Is he not going to get it? So that was cool.
You can hear that in the audience. Whenever you're particularly if you have a go and it's not quite coming up the first time, that's when that's when all the cheering starts and all the adrenaline starts flowing between the audience. I love that, about stone lifting, because particularly it's something like the Arbor Stones where there's a run and you're right, next one, and see how far people can get. It's amazing to watch that. And yours particularly that day, you can really feel like the audience were almost lifting the last stone for you. And it was class. It
was a magical day for me. My mum was there.
Yeah.
My wee daughter was there. She was only a baby at the time. I think she maybe had been a 2 or 3 year old. And it was great fun, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. But I must say, I absolutely love doing the manhood stones in Scotland, and I'm in the process of, as we speak, planning my next stone tour.
That's July,
yeah, which is going to be even more special. It's my stag. It's my stag. So a few of my mates and a few guys I'm going to message, some of the kind of famous, not famous, but the guys that are associated with the Stones, like Martin Janskis, who's watching at the moment, Jamie Gordon, Chris Beetham and stuff. I'm going to message them and see if they want to come and if they want to come and be part of it, maybe lift a stone tour with me. But yeah, we're going on a wee stone tour in July for my stag do before.
That's brilliant. Most people head down to the local pub and drink a shitload of beer. But you're travelling around Scotland lifting stones. That's amazing. Actually, do you know what? That's fabulous. So it is. No, I know you've already been an invite, Andy, and you know what? If I can, if it's at all possible, I will absolutely be there. I promise you. And thank you for the invite.
Thank you so much. I say,
but Daddy said,
yeah, I would love you to be part of it, but we'll see. I know, as I say, very little I'll get off for my wedding. Oh, Jamie, I hope your leg's okay, buddy. I saw your leg. It's what Jamie Goring will only get the planet that's give me a run for my money with injuries. But
we're sporting tonight. Or sporting, or
I know we're both paying homage to each other. Thank you. Thank you so much. But yeah, no, as I say, I'm looking forward to a wee stone tour. I absolutely love the stone tours. It's incredible. I think it's amazing. Social media and the internet's made it a little bit more exciting in the last couple of years. And I always say this, but James Graham has done an incredible job documenting where all the stones are, and Martin's done a great job with his books. And
they're not done yet. They're not done yet, because and I know that James is working on more of Peter Martin's old unfinished work, and he's kind of trying to finish that off. There's stuff going on over here with Irish stones, which I've actually managed to make some breakthroughs on, on the Aran Islands. So there's stuff there. Obviously I can't get over there at the minute with all this nonsense of COVID, but once that clears and it's safe to do so, I have a contact over there. He's an older guy, but he knows all the history. He knows where the stones are, so there's a lot to be done over there, so it's like you said, it's growing. I mean, what's flip me, a percentage of the planet actually seen it, that's when you get into a percentage of the planet, that's amazing. That's serious numbers you're getting into there.
No, I know, it's just really cool, as I say, it's just really cool to promote stone lifting, the Arbor Stones for Charlie. I'm delighted for Charlie gets that level of exposure because he's an absolute gent. It's cool for people in all the world to see a national our national dress as well, because one of the things I found hilarious about the whole tour thing was like everybody like, oh, why is he wearing a skirt and and all this stuff, and I suppose it gave because there's people in Kazakhstan and Malaysia and everything of sorts, so I suppose it makes the national attire that wee bit more exposed and for everyone to be able
I would say with the guys that wear kilts now, I don't include myself in this because I'm small, but when there was guys wear kilts, should it be a plaid or a kilt, and they're lifting a stone, if those guys were standing beside them, they wouldn't call it a skirt.
No, I know. That's what someone.
They say, oh, he's wearing a skirt,
Yeah, they say it's called a kilt because that's what you end up doing if you call it a skirt. Yeah.
Kilt if we called a skirt. It's only a skirt if you're wearing underwear. But then when you're lifting heavy stuff, you have to be prudent as well,
But no, to summarise, as I say, I'm loving the stone culture. I'm absolutely loving the exposure and more and more people getting involved and engaged in it. I think that's a lot to do with, as I said, with guys like Martin and his books and James Graham with the websites. That's fantastic. But what I need to emphasise as well, but I'm sure that a few other guys will appreciate me mentioning this, is that there's a few guys that have been doing some stones and they've not been taking care of them. Probably with the greatest respect, in the past as well, I could have done better as well, and I've dropped a few stones and soft and everything else. But I think it's important, if anybody's watching this that wants to get into manhood stone lifting, wants to come over to Scotland and lift stones, wants to get involved in manhood test of strength and so on, that they're priceless. They're part of our heritage. There's been a few guys posted in the last maybe couple of years that just like dropping stones from shoulder height onto concrete, just not showing the stones the respect they should be. And again, I will hold my hand up and say that up until this was brought to the general attention, I probably could have done a better job of taking care of them as well. So I need to emphasise.
I think it's an education thing, Andy. I think I think any of us who lift stones, once you have that conversation, respect the stones, don't drop them. I think everybody who's a true stone lifter will go, you know what, you're absolutely right. And if you've done it, you go, shit, I've done that, I'm really sorry. I'll make sure that doesn't happen again. I see it with the Denny's as well. I see guys lifting like, and I let them go and, and I mean, the Denny stones are bulletproof, but still it's a respect thing,
But no, as I say, it's important. As I say, we want them to be around for hundreds of years. I think the Wallace Putting stone breaking was a momentous moment where people realised that these stones were fragile. And I must say, in a weird totally, to go on a tangent, John Pollock, I mentioned earlier on, when me and John Pollock first lifted the Wallace Putting stone, John Pollock, being a stonemason himself, looked at the Wallace Putting stone and said, there's a fault line in that will break eventually. And I joked, said, well, it's so many hundreds of years old, John. I don't think so. And lo and behold, within I think 2 or 3 years later, it broke. So
if you have a fault line, you think of ice getting into it, and ice expands. I mean, I used to work on the road service over here, and I mean, a small hole in the road over a period of 3 nights can become a crater. When water gets in and freezes and expands and all that sort of thing. But I think, I mean, obviously nature takes its course, but I think that there's no point us speeding nature along.
No, as I say, we've got to look after them. But I suppose, I mean, the narrative of this video is just to promote stone lifting in Scotland.
Absolutely.
And just treat the stones with respect. Yeah. Treat the stones with care because they are priceless and part of Scottish heritage. And have a damn good time. Have a damn good time lifting them. There's websites you can go see, learn about them. Martin's got a good book. What's Martin's book called again? Sorry, I beg your pardon. Martin, I'm so sorry. I'm trying to plug your book for you, brother. It's Manhood. Shit, Martin, are you still there?
Caught me out there.
Yeah, Martin's got a great book, and then you've got fantastic websites.
Well, James is Donald Denny Uncovered. Martin's is flipping heck.
You've got Old Man of the Stones and so on, and
Old Man of the Stones,
and on this, come to India, please. You know what? Okay, I will do so because I know there's some big stone stuff in India. I know you've got a big stone lifting culture as well. But as I say, that Martin's got a great book, and I beg your pardon, Martin, I've forgot the name of it. And James Graham and Martin have some great websites. But as I say, and obviously you can see everything. If you want to go on, it's all over. Some stone lift. Oh, hold on. Was that there?
Stone lifting, an ancient test. That's the one.
That's the one. Thanks, Martin. Yeah, thank you, Martin. So yeah, Martin's got a great book, guys. If you want to get into lifting some stones, it covers everything, and it's a great book. And I was saying, you've got the websites, Old Man of the Stones, and all the other ones. Martin runs the Facebook pages as well.
Yeah.
So loads of information, and hopefully when COVID-19 buggers off, we can get more and more people over to do some beautiful stone tours. The thing I need to say as well, one of the things people ask me all the time, what's your favourite stone, Andy?
I was going to ask you that.
what do you love to do? But I think the thing I love about it most is I love going in it's the adventure. I'm sure some of the other stone lifters will agree with me here, but I love the drives. I love the drives.
Yeah.
Like, say it's just me and the missus, or me and a few of the lads, and you jump in the car, and you just get to see some absolutely breathtaking scenery. I mean, the drive down to the Glenroy Stones is breathtaking. The drive to Glenlyon. I mean, Jamie Gordon, if he's still here, Jamie and me have both done Strathmore of Durness, and oh my God, what a drive up to Durness and so on. Beautiful drives. So that's the bit I love about it. I love it. It's plan a stone tour, go on an adventure, and just soak in the Celtic culture, enjoy the scenery, and just, it's breathtaking. It's absolutely breathtaking. I would take a stone tour over, so much, absolutely so much. It's just brilliant. That's it, Jamie. I see if I could ride a motorbike, Jamie, it'd be even cooler. But I've not got the ability to ride a motorbike. That would be a wee bit cooler if I could get up on a big bike.
We can on our motorbikes and do it.
When I'm up to Strathmore of Durness, I actually went off the road and I get stuck in my van. I had to get somebody to pull me out. Yeah, my missus was sleeping. She fell asleep. So
Charlie took me up to Spag Glen to lift the saddle and mare, and he took me to the Inverstone. Flipping unbelievable, absolutely. The Spag Glen one, because that's when the forest was still there on the trees, and I mean we were just driving, we pulled in. I'm like, "Are we stopping for a pee?" And he said, "No, we're here. It's in amongst the trees there." All of a sudden, plinth appeared, and oh man, it was amazing.
Just beautiful. It's just honestly, it just feels incredible. There's something. There's the guys. Anybody that's watching this, to get into stone lifting, there's just something so primitive and so I can't explain. There's just something powerful about walking
very
into
powerful. Yeah, it's very powerful.
A field full of sheep shit and freezing cold, and you're like, why did I go to the car? It's freezing, and you see the stone, and they always look bigger and heavier than you remember them. You go,
to tell you a good story, mate, the very first time that I lifted the Denny Stones was on a Boyne Green, because the Petark Hotel was closed for refurbishment. And I mean, it was an amazing day because it was my first experience of the Stones. But when I went back and did them at Petark, I mean, it's night and day. The magic, because a stone has magic in its natural place where it's supposed to be. And you could never explain that magic to somebody, And that's why, I mean, with what I'm doing with the gathering stuff, I want to keep everything, particularly with the Denny Stones, there. So when people come, they experience the Denny Stones where they're supposed to be experienced. And I think the rest of the stones is like that as well,
Yeah, no, as I said, Petark's a magical place, especially the bridge and that. You can just sense, the aura, the atmosphere. Incredible,
I first went down there. I mean, I first heard about it in 1971. I was only a wee boy. My goodness, I was only 7 or 8 years of age. And it's been like this magical place in my head, because I didn't get to go over with Dad when he did his stuff, but I always thought I just loved to be there. And I was playing gigs up in Aberdeen right about the year 2000. I mean, I was 9 stone soaking wet. I was I see better legs hanging out of a bird's nest. But just after the gig the next morning, the guys were all dying, and I said, "Look, my mate Spike already, him and I just took a drive down." And when it was the bridge that I seen first, and it was almost like one of those kind of moments. It's like, "Fuck, it's real," because I always feel Petark's a wee bit like Brigadoon for me.
Yeah.
Whereas it's just magic, particularly when you come away from Aberdeen Airport and you turn left off that carriageway, and there's like a veil comes down, and you're driving in amongst the trees all the way then into sort of Royal Deeside. It's amazing, absolutely amazing. I don't know what it is. I mean, it's rocks, but whenever you stand over one and it has history and when you put your hands on them, even if you don't lift them.
It's magical. It's like the Fianna Stone. You go, guys have tried to lift this for 600 years, and it's like this was the definition of masculinity. Yeah. And honestly, it's just a buzz. It's just something. Honestly, like when I went to Iceland to see the all right, Broomy's in the house. Me and Broomy are getting married 2 days apart, and he better come to my wedding if I'm coming to his wedding. But no, yeah. When I went to Iceland to lift the full sticker stones and the belt, it just weird. Like you drive like all these hours out to the middle of nowhere in Iceland, you just see this big rock, and it's just it gives you chills, man. It's like I know some people won't get it, but like, I know Jamie's want to go over and do it, and a few others in Martin's going, but honestly, man, fuck me, man, excuse the language, but see when I got to Snorri's goat pen and I seen the Husafeld stone, it's just incredible, you know.
I can imagine, to see it in the flesh, you know, it's you see these pictures all your life, you know, and you watch them and you hear guys talking about them, but they actually be standing in front of one of these, you know. Obviously the Denise is my thing, but when I seen the Saddle of Mare, and when I seen the Inverstone, you know, it was like flipping heck. You know, because they're just sort of sitting there, you know, there's no big fanfare, you know, you just walk in, there's nobody around, but they're just going, hello. You know, I don't know, seriously, I'll tell you something, Andy, I mean, the friendships that we've all made, you know, because of all this, you know, people you would probably never meet. You might not meet them through powerlifting or any other medium, but when you meet them through stone lifting, I think it's a bond for life.
Yeah, no, not quite. It's amazing. I mean, I think I saw Enzo. Was it Enzo was watching earlier on?
Yes,
When in any other circumstance or situation would be no Enzo? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's the same as powerlifting. I've got friends all over the world now. You meet Canada and Slovakia and Slovenia. It's just that's what's incredible about strength sports is it doesn't really matter if you're a banker or you're the drummer and probably the greatest ever Queen tribute band that existed, or you know a German. Yeah, like a prison warden, or you know, it doesn't matter. The stones bring you together. I love that. It doesn't matter how much your watch costs, or how big your car is, or what age you are, or what your colour is, or your religion. We're all brought together by stone lifting, and we all know that Brett Nicol is the god. You know, if we had an altar and replace the crucifix with just Brett Nicol.
Tell you what,
here, Brett.
Done it now.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. Have you ever met a man that's more excited about Brett Stones and Brett Nicol? God bless you, Brett. We love you. We love you so much,
man. You know, we have a talk for like an hour and a half every single day about Stones, you know. And it's never that we go over old ground. You're always talking about new stuff and getting excited about it, you know.
I love Brett. Every time I go to Brett's house, I can't text for a month after it because my thumbs are killing me. How was Brett's house? I can't tell you.
Hey, you got to give me a month with my thumbs heal up and I can get the feedback in them. You know, and I remember about you is coming to my dad's and, you know, having a fight with my dad's stones and being successful when that was you dug in that day, and that was very impressive to see. You know, you talk about, you know, the fight and having to really, really dig deep to get something. You know, that was amazing that you're lifting stones that day.
I love your dad's just. See, there's it's a weird thing. I'm not saying you don't have this, right? But see when you're in the presence of people, just sometimes people have got an aura about them. When I met David Carter, the powerlifter, or I met Ed Coe and whatever, like when you meet your dad's just a bad motherfucker, man, you know? Like honestly, like, you know, like if we were stranded in a desert island, you'd be like, I wish Jack was here. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, he's just a badass. And you know he's going to live forever. He's going to be like 170 and he's still coming to the gathering. But
I hope so. He's going to outlive us all, though. He was up last week. He got like a heart valve thing done last year, and he went for his like an annual test, and they said all of his valves, his heart, everything's perfect. You know, it's unbelievable.
The valve was just to slow him down. That's all it was, just to slow him down.
He actually started weightlifting again with he's doing the hack lift, and he's doing it and he's lifting like down near 400 pounds for reps. You know.
Honestly, I wish he was my dad. I'm so jealous. Honestly, he's just the coolest dude ever. And your mum just
doing that like I do. I kind of get it. You know, obviously when I've had him around all my whole life, and mean, he was always the strong man. I was always the drummer. Like ripping it up. Doing drummy things. But now we both have this shirt. I mean, him and I. My mum's like, please talk about something other than bloody Stones.
Yeah. I'm coming to visit you, my stag do. I promise, I'm coming to visit you. I swear to God, I'm coming to visit. And I'm bringing all my friends to meet the legend, Brett Nichols.
Oh yeah.
Brett Nichols. But no, I love your dad. He's amazing, and it was an absolute honour to come into his house, let alone to actually lift these stones. And I'm really proud of that.
I enjoyed having you there because he still talks about it. I mean, my dad's very honest with me. He tells me about things, and he wouldn't say he liked somebody if he didn't. But he said he really enjoyed having you at the house. Absolutely did. Yeah, anytime you'd have him meet, because I know you guys been hit it off from the first time that you met anyway.
Yeah. Do you remember we were warming up for that second time I come over and me and you were doing them? We were warming up in his shed and stuff. It was just an electric night. It was just great. It was just a couple of sad old guys farting about in a garage with some strange plates. And it felt like it was the Olympic final for me. It was such a buzz,
It's lovely having this. You say, because I mean, these plates there's some of them are homemade. There's nothing. I mean, there's no lovely shiny chrome.
Carry Warden couldn't work both plates, so you're like, right, that's 15, that one's 27 plate.
And a half.
Put your thumbs, Andy, and tolerate the pain.
That's it. Yeah, I should have just left it down. That's great stuff. Yeah. Really is.
I'm the proud owner of one of your dad's certificates. I don't know how many people have got them, but I must say, it's that certificate sits with pride of place beside any other one I've got. I must say.
Well, we've literally only just hit double figures. We're just at 10 now.
Yeah.
And that's I think Brett and Mark Haydock are determined to come over this summer, hopefully.
Mark Haydock will lift them from here. Show off bastard. But
he'll probably curl them, Andy.
He's probably lifted them already. You just never saw them.
So quickly, I'm looking forward to getting the guys over to do that. Do you know what? You surprised me, because I actually thought, when you say it was just whenever Charlie made contact with you, that kind of got you back in the stone lift again. I just thought you'd done it forever, because they're so sort of natural with the stones and stuff, and so you know where they all are. And
yeah, I fell away from it. I just fell in love with. I fell in love with powerlifting, and I was scared. I'm not going to lie. I was obviously. I don't want to sound all soft, but it took me a long time to because obviously I blew my knees off and I was lying on the floor and it took me a long time to even have the confidence to go back and lift a stone, because it was such a psychological mental block for me. Yeah. Even to press a log above my head, even now, 10 years on, I still shake like shit from the knees. I still was, because it's just post traumatic.
It's not easy what we're doing, It's
PTSD. But so I was a bit scared, and then Charlie messaged me and he's like, "Hi, how you doing?" Peter Martin and I were talking, and he says, probably if you want someone to lift your 9 stones, speak to this guy. And obviously Peter Martin had saw me press the menzies above my head and press the inverter when I was in my prime, when I was I still had knees and shit. I'll come do it. So I kind of just went, last thing to return is very much confidence. And Broomy, and I hope Broomy unfortunately just detached his bicep. So I hope you make a full recovery, my ridiculously handsome friend.
I can sympathise with you in that, because I had a thing, it was called Guillain-Barré syndrome, left me paralysed.
Yeah, I remember.
I had a long way to come back. I was down to 7 stone. Nothing. I couldn't squeeze a toothpaste, So when you do come back, you say confidence. When you go back into the world, I enjoyed playing golf back then, and obviously drums. And the first time behind the kit, a lot of my stuff hadn't healed, so my arms would randomly just go sideways like this.
Yeah.
No control over them at all, and you'd be in the middle of a gig, boom, next thing would happen. So I get the confidence thing, but it's nice when you feel that fear and just say, you know what, I'm flipping doing it anyway. And that's what you've done, which is, that impresses me, because I know what you've been through mentally, as well as physically, So that impresses me probably more than the physical.
I'll give you an example of what I had kind of go through. Right, I went to the European. Thanks, Jamie. Thank you, brother. I went to the European Powerlifting Championships in 2011 in Limerick. Yeah. And I was going for a big squat, and I think it was like, at the time it was big. I mean, I've got stronger since, but it was like, say, I don't know, 300 something kilo, right? It was a big squat. And I turned to my training partner at the time and I says to him, listen, I says, this squat, if I go down, I might never come back up from it. And he went, for fuck's sake, don't say that. And I said, you know, I have to be willing to take that risk. I have to go through that fear that if I go down, my knees might not want me to come back up. So I had to get, like, so I was literally squatting all that weight with the fear of, you know.
Well, like, it's a real fear. It's a genuine, it's a legitimate fear, yeah.
It was very difficult for me to conquer that, but I don't think I think a lot of it was kind of, it was bravery, but there was a bit of stupidity as well. It's like, because you're like, you know, what else do I do? This is my passion. This is what I love. I don't want to. I think
that's the question. What are your alternatives? You know, your alternatives are to walk away, which you didn't do. You know, you felt that, and I mean, it's totally understandable. But if you feel that way, but the thing of it is, with that knowledge, you still went ahead and did it, Andy, and I just find that really impressive.
Yeah, as I say,
we're talking about you pressing the Inverstone. Is it the Menzies or the Mingus? I hear some people call it the Mingus stone. Is that like a local pronunciation?
I think the proper terminology is the Mingus stone, and it's at Menzies Castle. I think both names are appropriate. You know, we can Menzies or Mingus, or we can call it Fianna or the Glen Lyon. I don't know, but yeah, we'll say Mingus because we'll go with Mingus, right? Let's go with that.
Well, I seen you pressing the Mingus stone. I seen you pressing the Inverstone, and to me they both look easy. I know there's about 5 kilos difference. Is the Inver about 120, about 150? Did you find them both equally difficult? Because I know the Mingus is very slippy. You know, it's like glass. Even though it's a wee bit lighter, it's still. Was it a harder press, or did you just find, because it just both looked so easy that day?
See, I'll tell you something interesting. I don't know if a lot of people know this, but if you watch my Menzies, my Mingus stone press, if you look at my right leg, I've got 6 knee wraps on my calf. And the thing is, the week before that, I was at UK Strongest Man, and I detached my calf clean off the bone, and it was totally detached. And that calf injury was what eventually led to both my knees ripping off. Sorry to be
right.
But the thing is, my leg was black from the ankle to the knee, and my calf was clean off the bone. But we had arranged to meet David Webster. My good friend Stephen Murray, who I know he's almost Stainless is his nickname. Yeah. Stephen had contacted David Webster via email. I was like, listen, do you want to come and witness? Andy's going to attempt to be the first person to press the Menzies, the Mingus stone, and blah blah blah. So we'd arranged to do it, and for me to press that stone was excruciating, because every time I moved or anything at all, my calf was literally clean off the bone. So the Menzies press was more painful, but I think the Menzies was a slightly harder press in general. But the thing is, with the way I pressed the stones above my head back in the day, was it either looked effortless or I didn't get it. And I'm sure some guys that press, like Martin and Jamie and everything else, is the way I done it. It was an explosive kind of flick to the chest, a one motion to the chest, and then it was kind of lean back and incline press it. Yeah. So if you had it perfect, it looked effortless, but if you didn't hit it, it wasn't going. So I didn't, my technique wasn't kind of raw tricepy kind of power. Okay. So that's why they both look beautiful, but there was probably about 3 or 4 attempts before that where they didn't happen.
Oh, you don't need to see those.
You don't see the outtakes. Like, people say, oh my God, that when I pressed the Inver, I think I pressed it 3 times before that one. Right. And it was just, I was like, I'm not happy with that. My elbows weren't perfect. Well, I've been in OCD, but the Inver I loved pressing it.
You know, when something get in their chest, settle it, and then press it. It just seemed to move and not stop. And that's why, I mean, it was Brett sort of pointed out to me, and I have to say I agree with him. If you had a push a bit harder on the Inver, it probably would have left your hands and kept going up. You had to catch it.
David Webster was shown it, actually. I showed David Webster on the camera. That's how, 10 years ago, it was a proper, one of them,
Aye.
and we showed David Webster it, and David Webster says to me, "Have you sped that up?" And I think probably that's the nicest compliment you could have gave me. He was suggesting that the footage was enhanced, and then he said that he witnessed Bill Kazmaier, Hamish Stevenson, and Francis Brebner's presses all in person, and he said that mine was the best press.
Wow.
And I think at the time I was the fourth person. I know a few guys have done it since.
Yeah,
the big Australian guy, big
Luke Reynolds.
Big Luke, and that really good American dude that's got the strong, I see Brass Knuckles, I think, Nas Knuckles, I think his name is. I met him in Norway, he's incredible lifter as well. He's pressed it and stuff. But at that point, I was the first person to press it for a good few years between Francis and Hamish and Bill Kazmaier. So to do anything, I'm sure all the guys will agree with me here. I'm sure all the guys agree with me that to do something that, somebody like Bill Kazmaier's done is pretty cool, It's pretty cool.
Is, yeah, absolutely, yeah. I mean, I'm looking forward to speaking to Bill about that, because I know when it was 1979, it was the same time as they made the trip with John and Terry Todd over, and Bill did that. I think he set a world record on the weight over the bar on the same trip at one of the Highland Games, I remember, so. Yeah, to be in that sort of company, Andy, that's cool stuff. Like, it really is. That's proper. It doesn't get any better than that. And to move in those circles, that's what I love, because we look at the size of me, and I get to hang out with guys like you and Bill and Jamie and Brett and all the big monsters. I'm walking about like this wee toothpick in amongst us all.
I happen to know, Mr. Shanks, that T-shirt you're wearing has got an S on it. Yeah. That's it. We don't even call it. It goes 3XL, 2XL, 1XL, medium, and Shanksy.
What? Whenever I was over at the Arnold's with 2017, you get your wee email about what's happening and then your itinerary. And they ask you for your T-shirt size, and the T-shirts all started at XL. So then I'm like, I would need to order some tent pegs for that as well, So I think I'm probably the first to be in that sort of strengthy thing that has ordered a small T-shirt. Very proud of that, actually.
Bye, Broomy. I love you. But yeah, Broomy's practically family. Broomy grew up and was actually one of my fiance's best friends, so technically it's almost family.
Cheers, Broomy.
Bye, Broomy. What a great guy. So I feel bad because he's only got one kidney that his dad gave him, and I've got 3 kidneys, and I feel like I could maybe just give him one and call it squares, but...
Yeah. And my friend did that. That's a hell of a thing to do for somebody, like, it is.
I tried to do it for Stainless, for Stephen Murray. Stephen's unfortunately required a kidney, and I've got this condition in my family that my mum's got, even my daughter's got it. It's called duplex kidneys, and I've got 3 kidneys.
Oh my goodness, wow.
Yeah, but unfortunately it makes me not suitable to be a donor, so yeah, so I was like, because me and Stainless were like best friends at the time, and I was like, hold on a minute, my mate needs a kidney, I've got 3, it seems like... But unfortunately, no.
No, I haven't seen Stainless for a while. The last I seen was at the Gathering a couple of years ago. He's a hell of a guy. I know he's got a good... I mean, he was a hell of a stone lifter too,
Yeah. No, he was a good guy, Stainless. Well, he still is, but yeah, he was never the biggest. He was never the strongest stone lifter, but he was very intelligent, and if there was a tactic involved in anything, he was always great for that.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's another thing we've not touched on. Just I'm sure we'll wrap this up soon. So something better to do on the night, Saturday night, than talk to us. But our listeners. But one of the things I love about the Stones is it's the Rubik's Cube.
Oh yeah,
I love that. I absolutely love it. I'll give you an example. When I went on a Stone tour, I think it was last year or something, on a wee Stone tour in the winter. I love doing them in the depths of winter. It just makes it more horrible and miserable. And there's just something more Scottish about it. Do you know that when you're all sitting in the car just bogging and you're mud everywhere and you're freezing and you're just in your biceps? Every guy will relate to this is watching. How sore does your biceps on a Stone tour? It's like toothache, and you're in agony and you're covered in scratches and blood and everything, and you're like, why am I doing this? And then it just hits you. You're like, because I'm a man. That's it. Because I'm a primitive man. But, yeah. So anyway, so I was on this Stone tour with John, to reference JP again, God bless him. And
I'm still in touch with JP, quite a lot.
Yeah,
JP quite a lot. Yeah, we talk a lot.
And JP, so we're on a Stone tour with JP, and I went to do these stones called the Acronax, I think, or Cairney, Acronax, I think, is the pronunciation. And it's a guy called Malcolm that's the house to reside in. He's a great guy. Absolute fantastic guy, and he's got an absolute batshit dog that I love to bits. My missus just goes with me to stone tours to see the dogs. There's a dog involved, she'll come with me, right? She's like, well, there'll be dogs. So anyway, right. So anyway, so we went to Malcolm's place and we're doing the stones, and the big stone. There's 100 kilo, and I think it's 130 or something, right? But the big stone's a difficult one. It's a toughie, you know. It's
20 kilos.
Yeah, it's a toughie. It's a toughie. And JP couldn't lift it for the life of him. He really struggled with it. And it was because he didn't know the hand placement. And I was like, hey JP, I'll show you a wee trick here. And I moved it a different way. Showed him a wee line to put his hands, and he could lift it no bother. And that was purely on the basis that I had lifted it before. So I love that. I love the fact, and I love it when people get different ways. Like everybody lifts the Fianna different, you know. I know. Brett, honest that Brett, I'm actually scared about when I do come to yours, because I know that I'm going to need like about 4 hours to play with all your stones. Every time I see your garden, it just gets bigger and bigger. And you've got more rings than H. Samuels. Yeah, I'm away. I've peaked. So, but no, but I love the Rubik's Cube aspect of it. I absolutely love. I love the puzzles. I love how everybody's different. Like, and it's going to be good fun. But a great challenge working at technique. Yeah, it's brilliant.
I had that with the Saddle and Mare. I tried those, and then I found like a wee nub on one side of it, and like a wee finger hole on the other side. And as soon as I got that, I found it okay to lift it. But I was like, Charlie has that stone. He calls it the Gormac stone, is it? Yeah,
the Gormac, yeah.
I just couldn't. I tried every single way with that one. It just wasn't strong enough for that one.
Yeah. It's a toughie, that one, but I saw Kenny Sim, I think. Kenny picked it up like nothing. He made a great job of it and stuff, but it's a tough stone. But I'll tell you how cool that is. I've never told them this, right? This is an exclusive, and it involves Martin Janskis, if he's still here, right?
I'm sure.
There was one time, me and Martin were going to do the same stone. I think we hadn't planned it. It just we hadn't planned it. I think it was just the same time. And I went to do the Arvolic stone, and I think Martin had done it a couple of days before me, but he'd left a bit of chalk on it, and I showed up, and he'd left like 2 wee bits of chalk at the perfect bits. So I was like, cheers, Martin. And I managed to lift it. And I'm pretty sure had Martin no chalk to these 2 perfect bits, he saved me about an hour of messing about with it. So if, as I say, everybody's got their different. It's weird enough, because you can pick a stone up if you've not felt it for a couple of years, and then you kind of it's like braille. It's like weird. It's like testosterone braille. Right, and start I remember you, big man. I remember you, granite. And you have a wee feel for it, and then you get a feel for it, and you fall in love with it again. But no.
But that's a really good. I mean, that's a really good trick, because anytime I go to a stone, I'll be looking for chalk marks of fingers.
Aye. As I say, it's good. Watch other people. Like watch videos and go, right, where's that bastard putting his horns? Right, hold on, which way's he got it up? Because there's. As I say, if you watch like Manverstone, when I press it, like I've got it turned a certain way, and I've got the numbers at the bottom of it, and there's a kind of ring initially that looks like a ring. So I've got it sitting a certain way, but I tried to press it about 4 or 5 times before obviously I worked out that was the best way to get it to my chest, and then get my hands under it fast enough to press it with the momentum. But no.
I mean, it's not many people you see when they lift a stone actually use momentum to carry the stone on up. I mean, it's usually up to here, get it and set, and then it's a dead stop in a way. But you actually did have momentum on that, which was amazing to see.
Yeah, I must say the reason I got good at that kind of technique was every Sunday I used to train in a gym called the Marinecraft Gymnasium in Dumbarton, and out the back was just a beach, just filled with rocks, like absolutely incredible rocks. And we used to go at the end of the workout, and we just like kind of jog. I would say run, but I'd be lying through my teeth, right? we would walk briskly along the beach, and I'd be like, oh, geez, I feel like that one. Flick it up, press it above my head, and then it got to the point where we were making it like a wee medley, like you would be like, press that one, press that one, press that one. So I was doing it every Sunday. And at that point, I don't think there was ever any aspect of like pressing stones above heads or anything. It wasn't a big factor, but it was just my wee party piece. So it came in really, really handy when it came to pressing the manhood stones. I didn't intentionally train for it. I just, luckily, I'd training in a weird way, training unintentionally for it for ages.
Picking up on previous experiences, yeah. I just noticed Brett said there he actually commissioned, as a friend of his, he commissioned like an Inverstone replica. It's a few kilograms lighter, but it's the shape and everything. It looks amazing. Out a couple of days ago there, so that's obviously gonna, because I know that Brett wants to do some stuff with the Inverstone and that. So what a great thing to have to train on.
Yeah. It looks fantastic. It's weird. It's like the Dalwhinnie stone is like a smaller version of the Inver.
Seems to be,
the Inver's just chubbier. You know, it's like it's that extra 10 or whatever kilos, 15 kilos is just, but it's such a similar stone. And then one Brett got looks like it's like the Inver and the Dalwhinnie's had a baby. That's what it looks like. You know,
it's still got a baby's bum. It's very smooth.
But yeah, no, I'm looking forward to my wee stone tour. I must say as well, I'm looking forward to trying the new stones at Sheriff Moor as well. I think I'm going to do that as one of the stops, and I know the guys have done I think Jamie in particular and Beefy and that have done a great job of, you know, replacing the Wallace putting stone and making it.
That's a great idea, yeah. But that's it. I suppose. I mean, it's guys like. I mean, it's kind of.
My missus just ran past me to turn the bath off, but she's been running for ages and forgot about.
Hi, Lindsay.
So yeah, she's okay. But yeah, but no.
I think when it comes to things like that, I mean, like if there's a stone that has fallen by the wayside and guys come along and replace it. I mean, there is no official body. You know, there's no they. You talk about they need to do this or they need to replace that. We are they, so when it comes to it, I mean, we need to take the initiative and do things like that between us, you know.
Yeah, no, as I say, we need to look after it. As I say, it's great that more people are involved now. I love the GPS coordinates, and I love social media as getting a great body, but we need to keep drumming into people that look after the stones, because they're incredibly important. It's like you know, these stones are our Mona Lisas, and
they are,
you know, our Sistine Chapel, you know. Yeah. So we need to look after them, you know.
And people all over the world know about Scottish stones. I mean, anybody's in any kind of strength anywhere in the world, they know about Scottish stones, you know. They do. Yeah. But what I love about it is, I mean, there's so many of us that are actually out there lifting stones, but we're doing more than that, because what we're actually doing is we're promoting it, you know, and we're taking it forward, and we're putting events on between us, and we're all working to make the whole thing better. And I love that. I love being part of that, you know, which is you know, it's absolutely fabulous, you know, because you see Jamie going out there to new places and uncovering new stones, and I mean, you've been doing that for ages, you know, and got out with your claymore sword, and you know, it's amazing.
It's good. As I say, it's like we're all different people. Like I can be flamboyant and taps off, kilt on, big claymore sword. I wrap a shortbread tin ribbon around the stones when I do it and stuff. But it seems that's what people want to see. So I'm like the stone lifting slut. Do you know what I mean? That's like me. I'm the one that's like tops off, shows the stones. Yeah. But that's not everybody's cup of tea. I mean, you know, like again, James Graham will show up with a pair of trackies on and a wee Scotland beanie, lift the stones. And he loves the stones just as much as me, and he's done probably more for stone lifting than me. But as I say, we're all bonded with the same passion, and that's it. You know, I love it. As I say, it's like it's like Josh who was on earlier on. I doubt very much he's still watching because he's got attention span of a fucking 2-year-old child. But Josh comes all the way up from, you know, Manchester and that to come up with the stones. He absolutely loves it. And he's so jealous. There's so many people that I meet in powerlifting and so on and strength sports from MC comps, and I'm, you know, down south and everything. And they're so jealous. Like Laws, every time I meet guys, like I'm sure Jamie and Nick, Brett and everybody else, every time I meet out, Laws, not, I want to come up and do the stones. Hartford said to me when I was in Iceland, I'd love to come over and do the stones. You know, Sean Logan, who's an amazing guy, he's just moved to New Zealand. He's like, I really wish to do stones. So we're really lucky that we've got them.
have, yeah, and they're all starting to connect now, which is great. You know,
Yeah.
through James's website. I mean, what I try to do, I've got the Denny Stones website there, so I try and put links to everybody's stuff, so that, you know, if you go into mine, then you can get at everybody else's, and the guys are all doing the same. You know, so it's that networking thing. You know, is really working too. It's really starting to pay off. I can see it.
Yeah, but as I say, before we finish up as well, I will say on behalf of everybody that's still watching, the dozen or so, 2 dozen of us watching it, we all appreciate everything you do for Shanksy, because there would be no gathering, there would be no Donald Day if it wasn't for you, buddy. So without kissing your ass, we appreciate.
Absolutely no brainer. You know, because I was looking for they, and they didn't exist, so I thought, well, I'm going to have to be they in this one. You know.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you've done amazing. And I know how much work you put in, and I know you don't make any money out of it.
No.
There's no motive. There's no motive other than the love of the Stones. And I must say, I've had a great time every year at the gathering. I was gutted we didn't have one this year, but I've had a great time. The first year I was injured and I could just spectate.
Yeah.
And I still had a ball, and then I had a ball when I done the 9 stones and lifted the Dinnies on the big truck, and then last year I had a ball as well lifting the.
Fingers crossed this year, Andy, we'll get it back on again. I mean, we're 4 months out, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's difficult to put it on, but just because it's difficult doesn't mean I'm not going to try every flipping thing in my power to make this happen. You know?
I think we're all in the same mindset now. It's just like, we want it to happen. If it happens, great. If it doesn't, we'll just need to accept that we're going to have to wait a bit longer. Yeah. I think everybody's been conditioned into that mindset, Stevie, you know.
Yeah, I know. Did you know what I have in my mind, which I think would be great, is whenever we do get the games on again. I mean, I have an Irish one, and it's sort of hatching over here as well, an Irish Donald Denny Day at Glenarm Castle.
I love Glenarm. I've got memories of Glenarm.
So if we have Donald Denny Day Scotland, and we have Donald Denny Day Ireland, we can have the Celtic Games, you know, like the top 4 placed Scottish athletes in Donald Denny Day, the top 4 placed Irish athletes over here. We'll have the Celtic Games, like a team event, so it won't be an individual thing, you know, so it'll be the team score, you know, and then when we start expanding out in the England,
idea,
4 nations,
I mean, when I was at Glenarm Castle the last time, Dave Warner, the fabulous Dave Warner, ran a comp called Highlanders versus Strongman, and it was all Highland Games athletes from Scotland versus a Strongman from Ireland, and it was a mix of Highland Games and a mix of Strongman. It was an amazing competition. The crowd was, and we had a fabulous time, and we were lucky that we won. It was me, Big Nelly, Neldo's 50 today. Happy birthday, Nelly! I'm sure
happy birthday, Nelly! Yeah, Nelly.
Probably be pushed as a far. Big Neldo. Ryan Reid, the incredible athlete Ryan Reid, who's just the most underrated strongman in the world. Ryan Reid, Kenny Sim, and Peter Bremner, and we had an absolute ball. I thought I was emceeing it. I thought I was commentating. Went, no, you're in. I was like, oh shit!
Really?
Like, I don't know how to toss a cable. It's like, but I winged it and we won, and it was fantastic. I've still got the trophy in the gym. So I love Glenarm. And yeah, that would be a great idea, Stevie.
What gave me the idea was because whenever I read James Graham's book, he used to talk about Donald Denny coming over to Bray in Ireland, just below Dublin, on the coast there. He used to come over and have like a Scottish-Irish kind of Highland Games challenge every year or so, you know. So I'm thinking, well, why the hell? Why not? What's stopping us doing that, you know?
Well, so we'll come visit you for a change, Shanksy.
Absolutely, absolutely.
You don't get a bus, you don't get the ferry over.
Come over here to lose, but I mean that's okay, you know. It'll be all about the experience.
No, it sounds great, mate. So, as I say, fingers crossed that the gathering goes ahead, and let's hope that we get rid of COVID and we get a great summer for everybody.
Oh man, I'm so looking forward to it. Yeah. So you're hoping to get a wee trip over here in June, you were saying?
Yes, I should be again. Fingers crossed. I think I'm over in the 13th or 14th of June. I'm emceeing a comp for Matthew McKeegan. I think it's Ireland's strongest man under 105s or something. I'm coming over to MC for him. So I'm going to bring the family over, and I was going to come visit you and your family and do a and I want to take my daughter up to the Giants Causeway because I tell her the Celtic folklore all the time. I tell her stories about Finn McCool and Belladonna and stuff. So she wants to see Finn McCool's house. So I promised my wee daughter I'll take her up to the Giants Causeway.
I've got the Flintstones here, and I don't know if you've heard about my Flintstones.
Yeah,
They're like Charlie's, you know, but there's 10 of them. They're super smooth. Like, I mean, there's no grip on these things at all. The heaviest one's 122, and there's only like about 4 men. JP come over, he managed the big one, you know.
yeah.
So there's a wee
Well,
challenge.
yeah, I'll come over. I just want to come over and say hi
Yeah.
and catch up with your family, see your dad and your mother and your good lady and everybody else, you know.
Brilliant, Andy. So listen, here's hoping that this bloody COVID thing clears up soon. You know, we're certainly heading in the right direction anyway. There we are.
Well, say thanks for having me on, Stevie. I hope everybody that's been watching's enjoyed our chat, and hopefully we'll catch up soon and lift some stones together.
I'm going to have another protein shake.
Yes. So enjoy your protein shake. and as I say, I'll hopefully see you in June, Stevie.
Yeah,
take easy.
Yes, love the family, Andy. It's been great to chat to you as always, pal.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, everyone. Enjoy.
Thanks everyone for tuning in.
Bye bye.